Hi, this is Raymond from David Dunlap Observatory Defenders. I'm part of
Uh,
a team that regularly organizes outreach programs at the observatory, which
Home of Canada's
largest optical telescope located in Richmond Hill, Ontario, Canada. These programs range from
Speaker Nights
discussing the latest astronomy developments,
and
space exploration to
astronomy themed.
family sessions as well as kids programs. We also offer workshops for how to use telescopes. If you're interested to see details about schedules when they're going to be held, please visit the website richmondhill.ca/astronomy. We are going to talk about the solar eclipse that will occur on April the 8th, 2024. Around the Greater Toronto Area, you may already have heard about various school boards not planning to schedule regular classes on that day. On that day, the shadow of the moon is going to be nearly covering the entire sun in the Toronto area, resulting in a near total eclipse. Now, Toronto lies just outside what we call a path of totality. So, in the Greater Toronto Area, we are not witnessing total solar eclipse. We are witnessing a partial solar eclipse. I will be providing a link about the exact path of totality. You may think about traveling to somewhere in the path of totality to watch the total solar eclipse. Some places like Niagara Falls, Fort Erie, Kingston, Prince Edward County, places like Sherbrooke in Quebec, maybe some of the places that are within driving range that you may want to consider within Canada and nearby that you can take a look at the sun total eclipse. That being said, regardless of whether you go to watch the solar eclipse in these places you drive to, or if you are staying in town, there is this period of partial solar eclipse that you will still be encountering. And I cannot emphasize enough, right around Toronto area, this is a situation where the sun is nearly, but not quite, totally eclipsed, and it is still a partial eclipse. Now, during a solar eclipse, the only time when one is safe to view the sun directly without eye protection is during
The total solar eclipse phase.
at the partial solar eclipse phase. No, even if it's a 0.1% illuminated sun, it is still a partial solar eclipse, and you still need to think about eye protection. Without eye protection to watch the sun that way, you still risk permanent eyesight damage. Fortunately, there are a few ways to protect your eyes while watching the eclipse, which we'll be talking about now. The first way is eclipse glasses. They
Come shipped, flattened.
may be in bunches. It's easy, quite intuitive to use. The viewing area is in the middle, and you've got cut out
On both sides.
like the arms of a pair of glasses, and there are creases between the viewing area and the arm that you can fold, and you can just put it on. Now, there are many vendors of eclipse glasses, and you may think, are they all safe? The answer is not necessarily. Solar eclipse glasses actually have to conform to a particular ISO standard 12312-2. Sometimes you have got the suffix colon 2015 that it references. That is a standard that is being emphasized as the standard for safe solar eclipse viewing protection. Now, anybody can print a few letters and numbers on a piece of cardboard and claims that they are ISO compliant. So, how do we trust them? It is a harder question. And there are many manufacturers, and it is not possible to verify every single one's claims. So what we go with recommendation is a list published by the American Astronomical Society, AAS. Now I will be posting the link on their list of approved vendors that sells these solar eclipse glasses as well as other solar filters in the comment section. When you're looking at these eclipse glasses, or if you get somebody to sell you in places like Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji, those places, watch for these fine prints on the inside of the solar eclipse glasses. There should be a manufacturer's name that is being indicated on these solar eclipse glasses on the inside. And there should be some clarification about who the manufacturer is. Sometimes it has addresses and it would indicate about some information about their ISO compliance information. Besides solar eclipse glasses, there's also solar eclipse viewers like this. Similar requirement, you need to use a hand to hold that eclipse viewer like this to look at the sun. Maybe it works better for those who wear glasses. Now, besides just looking at the sun with your eyes and needing this kind of visual protection, you may think, okay, I may want to look at the sun more close up. And I may think about, okay, how about using a telescope? What should I do? If you watch the sun through a telescope, something to keep in mind. Telescopes collect light. So if you go to watch the sun through a telescope, please make sure that the front of the telescope has a solar filter put on it. Now it comes in two kinds. The first kind is these things manufactured by the various solar filter companies. And this one is actually from Cantrix Astro Instruments in Toronto. You just put on the tube, and this one it fits very well with my dual shield on this telescope. And you just put it on and use these screws
to fix the solar filter so that it doesn't come off.
Alternatively, you may want to take a look at the path of creating your own filter by purchasing what we call ND 5.0 solar filter sheets from astronomy stores. And you can use cardboards and tapes to actually just set up a similar kind of filter and make your own and just fit out front. For these ones, you have to think about maybe using rubber bands, etc., to help put your filter stable on the tube, because having them come off while observing and you could be in big trouble. The other thing to take a note is there may be some claims about sun filters on the eyepiece side. Don't believe those. Always use these things put on this side, this front side of a telescope, not on the eyepiece side. Now, the other thing to mention is that please make sure that any sort of finder scopes, when you use it to view the sun, they are entirely covered. You can see a red dot finder here. Please don't let any light go through. Those are kind of general thing that we need to know about when we use telescopes for viewing the sun. If you don't have any of these things, am I going to miss out on the eclipse event? Not necessarily. You can still watch the partial eclipse using a different method called projection. Now, what we call here is the common reference of pinhole camera. Grab a piece of cardboard and you just have a small hole punch through it, and then you can actually use it pinhole camera theory to adjust the sun's rays pass through that pinhole and actually have its shadow
Cast on the surface.
for instance, round, wall, some are smooth surfaces, even like someone's clothes. But you can get creative. Kitchen utensils like this, you have a lot of holes and it's visible. It's just that instead of watching at the sun directly, you just watch opposite direction. Look at the shadows they cast through these sort of what we call pinholes. And you see quite a number of the eclipse sun in there during partial solar eclipse phase. Hope that this information is useful.
Wish everybody clear skies and a safe eclipse viewing experience.